My name's Kristen Beams and I'm a leg spinner for the Australian women's cricket team. I actually met Clea for the first time when I was a roomie for Australia at Bellerive Oval, and I get employed as the room attendant, get paid $100 for the day. Thought it was the best thing ever. I was 19. That was the first time I met her officially, and then I didn't meet her again until like 4 years later. I was a rookie going to the Big Spirit camp, and that's when I met her, and that's when she was like, hey, come and play for EMP. That team through that era, which was probably like early 2000s, all of those players then became people that I idolised, and Clea played during that time. Clea for me is a role model across cricket and life. For me, she was somebody who was the most passionate cricketer I ever met. She was the most competitive cricketer I ever met. Yet she found a way to balance career and cricket, and I think that's a really special thing. I never heard her whinge about the fact that she'd been working all day. She was a fast bowler, she was always going to be prone to having injuries, and I never heard her complain. She was so incredibly passionate about what she did. You can be at the top of your game and yet you can still always be learning, and you're going to have something after cricket. I think that's such a special gift that Clea's passed on to me, and I think it's also important as a player for me to pass that on to our next generation, who probably don't have to work if they don't want to. She had this incredible balance for me of white line fever and competitiveness, but then still a mentor to everyone. She used to field at first slip, and I'd think, don't drop a catch off Clea's bowling because she's just going to lose it. And she never did, but you always were just that little bit scared. But at the same time, she'd come up to you at the end of the game and she'd be like, that's one of your greatest spells that you've had for the club. And so I think anyone who can do both of those things is very special. When I got picked for Australia, I didn't think I would ever get the opportunity, and for me it was just really important to choose a number that mattered. And so I was like, right, it needs to be something special, and I'm scrolling down the list and number 14, and it just jumps out straight away. And I knew the number because I knew who wore it, and it was Clea Smith's number. She made me fall in love with this amazing club that's our family. We're also incredibly passionate about playing for the Essendon Maribyrnong Park Ladies Cricket Club, and so to have that experience and have that family support network, particularly when I'd moved from Tasmania to Melbourne, is that Clea and a whole host of other really amazing people from that club became my family, and that's something that she still is today, and I think that's really special. And now she's my boss, and she's been a real friend and a mentor for lots of different reasons. There were times when she was probably a little bit hard on me, and I really liked that. And I think she's still that person today as my boss. Clea is important to the ACA because she knows both sides, and I think that's such an important thing. I think as a player, she's been through the full range as a female cricketer. I think from somebody who started off not being paid anything to very small contracts when she retired, I think it's so important for the players now to have the history, and I think that's important for all of us to understand where the game's come from. But people who also understand where it is now and how to progress it forward. I think she's got the perfect amount of compassion as well as that drive to see it move forward. It's a wonderful thing when someone is good in all cricket and not just perceived as being a female cricket specialist, and to me she's not that. To me she's a business specialist.